Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Fly versus Tho. This game taking place, well, here on Tyrannus Stand. Fly has spawned as the red orc player over here on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right, we have Tho spawning as the random undead player. He is spawning over here on the bottom right hand side of the map. Seems like another human player who is trying random and getting, well, the best of it all. And we'll see if he makes, or if he does another infi and then, well, Switch decides ultimately that undead is the race to beat. Anyways, what's going to be going down in this particular 1v1 matchup, as we already are looking at an Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow, and Barracks. This will be going up against an Altar of Darkness Crypt. There's the Tomb of Relics, a Ziggurat right there. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Now, Undead versus Orc in the 1v1 matchup. We'll see whether we are going to be looking at your standard, well, Death Knight opening, or the reforged patch 1.30 transition into Crypt Lord, Dreadlord, or sometimes even, oddly enough, Lich first. Metaphysics, one of the videos, one of the maps I do not have. It probably has to do with different versions of the W3 champion maps. They constantly get changed, and I don't think I downloaded that particular set, but I have enough videos anyways. Just remember that silly commercial, by the way. What silly commercial? What silly commercial? Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. Focus on the game here, as we are looking at Fly, not Focus. We're going up against what will be a Crypt Lord opening. Crypt Lord opening, perhaps going to be a fast expansion attempt. We'll see if that, well, Altar of Darkness is unsummoned, and whether or not a sacrificial skull is being used. Voodoo Lounge being built down across here. Was as the Farseer comes back down across here, we're going to see a quick death of a sheep here. Farseer going to try and engage, going to get the lightning shield, and that's exactly what he was looking for right there, getting the lightning shield across all of those units once more. There it goes, there's that added bit of damage. Farseer absorbing a large amount of damage right there. Was taking a look, trying to back away, try to maximize that damage again, still trying to finish off all of those units as well, trying to, well, mix and match all of that damage. Lightning shield should be coming to an end, and there it goes. Last couple of units will get taken down once more, and the Farseer will have a potion of greater mana alongside gloves of strength, and be able to pick up something from that Voodoo Lounge to, well, make all of those wounds go away. Acolyte not going to have any issues trying to set up this gold mine here. Ziggurat, well, may be setting up a Nerubian tower in just a moment. However, Tho does not know his opponent has gone Farseer over Blade Master as of yet. And, well, now it is up to the Farseer to try and run on down and do a little bit of harassment. Alright, or a little bit of scouting followed by harassment. Okay, so which one does not work? Gonna send the substitute. The DreamHack one works. I'll say that. And I don't even know if I'll have the necessary time to go into that third game. Anyways, Circlet of Mobility, we see a Ring of Regeneration on that Crypt Lord. He did sell that Scroll of Town Portal, as the units are now making their way back. A lot of ghouls joining in on the fight here. Perhaps he is expecting to get a little bit harassed by Fly. Farseer doing a great job with that lightning shield to make, well, relatively difficult creep camps seem like a breeze, as we're going to see this renegade wizard get taken out right there. Chain lightning bouncing around, Scroll of Speed, Farseer trying to get away. This grunt, wow, is it going to be able to break free? And it does, except for an impale quickly shuts things down right there. Grunt gets lost here, and this very, very wide army trying to escape back every which way. That is a lot of carry-on beetles doing the chase right there, as we see one get taken down once more. Farseer could try and get in a little bit of damage. Thank you for the follow, as the units are now making their way back. Okay, alright, 480p, 360 because it's buffering on 480, 760 here. Alright, I'm streaming at, what, 60 frames a second at 1080p. So if you're unable to watch at that because of the rates, well, I definitely understand. All right, ghouls are gonna, well, ghouls gonna be able to finish off these farseers. There goes new ghouls once more. The Rubian Tower needs to go after the farseer. The farseer is the ones dealing the majority of that damage now, or perhaps trying to micro away and get in a little bit of additional damage on that haunted gold mine. As we're gonna look at that haunted gold mine get taken down. Meanwhile, farseer now gonna try to join in on the fight once more. There's that slow tower once again, and I believe Fly was just simply not thinking here. Maybe forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. There it goes. Grunt is now the one taking the damage, but one Nerubian Tower going to be more than enough. I believe the Crypt Lord just did not have enough mana for that Impale, allowing that to happen. All right, oh, a couple of beetles trying to get in some damage right there. Farseer is down to 32 hit points, but will end up surviving. The Forest Troll Shadow Priest with those heals, enough, and a healing salve now trying to replenish that Farseer's hit points. Alright, coming back in, we are looking at the Acolyte. Is it repairing? No, it is haunting that gold mine. No repairs as of yet. Graveyard and a Necropolis. Graveyard being built off over here. Interesting strategy to try to tighten up the defenses, make it more difficult to run units into that very exposed gold mine. Meanwhile, a Crypt Lord is now finally sitting at level 3, does pick up a, well, potion of greater healing, but he is still low on mana, but at least now finally at level 3. What is the Farseer's options at this point? Ring of Regeneration is right there. He could perhaps try and, well, heal up this Grunt here in just a moment, with the healing salve waiting for the remainder of this creep camp to get cleared out here, and in comes the Carrion Beetles trying to get in some damage once more. We are looking at a Tauren Chieftain as that second hero, as we see a Burrow right there as well. Alright, Forest Troll Shadow Priest having a little bit of a bad day, trying to retreat all the way back once again. Damage is getting added up. Forest Troll Shadow Priest trying to back away. We're going to take a look, a little bit more damage added in. A second beetle has popped back up, and it still gets taken down. Oh, horrible, horrible misstep right there. Unable to save that Forest Troll Shadow Priest, as we are looking at 2 bases for Tho. Meanwhile, Fly may try to set up an expansion in a little bit. Back off to the north, Tauren Chieftain gonna pick up, well, having a plethora of powerful items already. Well, the Tauren Chieftain looking at what Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, Gloves of Haste, and Ring of Regeneration. Faster attack speed and Ring of Regeneration making him a little bit more tanky. And, well, all he needs now is a Ring of Protection, and it'll have a glove or a gauntlet on each hand alongside a ring. Meanwhile, ghouls making their way off to the north here, going to try and clear out away from all of the action. Crypt Lord going to staff with teleportation into position here, as we're looking at low hit point ghoul about to get taken down. It does get taken down as the Kobold Geomancer launches that fireball. Coming back around here, the Crypt Lord is sitting at level 4, still relatively low on mana, and these ghouls are just going to get eaten alive here. This is not a good spot to be in, as the ghouls will be forced to retreat back. More beetles are getting added in once more, as we are looking at a little bit of early pressure, but Sentry Wards going to prevent the burrowing Carrion Beetles from continually harass. As Shaman are now getting added to Fly's army here. Those beetles should just get purged into nothingness right there, get taken down very quickly. Are we going to see another? Well, there's a Dust of Appearance, a little bit of free experience once more being delivered as well. Let's take a look. Goblin Zeppelin going to be doing a bit of a drop. Wind Rider now making its way back over. Going to try and what has a little bit to say here, as this Great Hall may get taken down. Crypt Fiend is in position as well. A lot of damage. In comes a Scroll of Speed to try and get around the corner, as a couple of ghouls could easily get taken out as well. Great Hall was, I believe, was cancelled. Otherwise, well, that was a lot of gold Fly was sitting on, as he's sitting at 40 supply compared to 44. Coming back down to the south here, well, Witch Doctors placing down sentry wards everywhere on the map, as the Witch Doctor has finally found its place in WarCraft 3 here in 2020. It's been an underutilized hero for quite some time, but now really starting to hit its stride. I don't know why I'm forced to watch in 160, but I can watch live from YouTube at 480p or 720. The difference is YouTube automatically compresses videos. Whenever you upload anything to YouTube, YouTube runs very sophisticated diagnostics on that video and tries to compress the video with minimal degradation in the video quality. in order to create the best video for YouTube, I try and just record and stream the highest possible video possible so that it still looks good on YouTube. So this is completely uncompressed. Completely uncompressed, and that's the reason why well, the 60 frames a second 1080p on Twitch takes a much more bandwidth than the other version that you see on YouTube. Why players don't get witch doctors? Well, witch doctors, if you think about it, witch doctors have a very niche role to fill. It's one of those units that, well, you really only need if you need detection. And normally in the Orc Mirror match, you didn't really need detection. Burrowing, the Blade Master was perhaps the most feared unit that you actually needed detection for, and that was pretty much it. Now that we have the introduction of these summoned units that have burrow, all of a sudden you need to be able to keep track of those units and be able to protect your expansion. So witch doctors just became that much more powerful at dealing with the constant harassment there. It was more a shift in the meta and the shift in the hit and run tactics that more and more players are using than any real balance change. I wish I could watch the game, so here is my support. Thank you very much. It's always very nice to get every little bit of support out there. It definitely does pay the internet bill. Yeah. And if you can imagine all of these videos that I'm streaming right now, because it's in 60 frames a second at 1080p, I think I'm actually uploading about 10 to 15 gigabytes a day, and then I upload it to YouTube as well, just to keep that quality fresh. Meanwhile, once more, this is, well, constant pressure on Fly's expansion that still has not been up or running. Tauren Chieftain going after the Death Knight. Death Knight now in trouble, gonna get stunned, and it looks like he will get taken down. Level 4 now on, or level 5 now on the Farseer. Lightning Shield on the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, well, adding in a lot of damage. Are we gonna see a stomp here? No stomp. There's a Chain Lightning, and I think the Chain Lightning traveled with them, finishing off that Forest Troll Berserker. Back off to the north, Fly versus th000, if th000 is in fact random, as the units are coming back off to the north. Alright, that town portal was just a little bit late. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3, also picking up a Sobi mask. That's exactly what the Orc army or the Tauren Chieftain needed. All you really need now is Brilliance Aura, and all of a sudden you shore up all the defenses for Fly. I am quite surprised though. Fly has finally gotten this expansion up and running after getting it cancelled so many times, and he is winning in the hero race. Is that going to be enough? Tauren Chieftain comes in with the stomp, but he's actually damaging some of his own grunts as well, as the Farseer, well, gets a lightning shield for added benefit as well. Alright, there goes an Impale. Farseer could get taken down. It gets blasted right there with that Lich's Frost Nova. Tauren Chieftain trying to finish off the remainder units as the Shaman are back into the north. Alright, both sides losing lots and lots of units all of a sudden as the Shaman trying to get back as well. There goes another Crypt Fiend as we are taking to the skies here. We do have one Destroyer though, so the Destroyer gonna shut things down as well. 49 supply compared to 49. We are 13 minutes into this game, and well, th000 has had an expansion up and running for at least 7 or 8 minutes. So the fact that th000 is still sitting in no upkeep does come as a very big shock. Alright, more Shaman getting added out onto the battlefield. Wind Riders getting added in there as well. Tauren Chieftain needs to bring in some healing across all of these low hit point units. You do not want to be giving free experience to your opponent here, as we are now looking at both sides going into low upkeep. Yeah. Now, Witch Doctor is going to try and head back here. Destroyer, being able to devour magic, but not actually finish off that Sentry Ward as the well, Witch Doctor going to try and pull back here. Witch Doctor only sitting at Initiate Training. Shamans back out onto the field, going to be able to get in a little bit more purge, try to get more experience onto that Tauren Chieftain. And if that Tauren Chieftain gets to level 5, well, that ground army of th000, which has mainly been consisting of ghouls, is just gonna get stomped on so much. Also, the added lightning shield of those Shaman alongside the Tauren Chieftain stomp is a very big deal. The problem though is the fact that the Destroyers are going to be able to devour magic pretty quickly and make sure that that lightning shield does not deal that much damage. All right, yeah, destroyers is the key thing there. The destroyers being able to devour that magic. As we are looking at, do we have fortified armor upgrades? No, we do not. What is going on here? The destroyers could easily start poking down burrows very, very quickly. We only have one destroyer right now, but we do have a second obsidian statue lying in wait. Mass Wind Riders, going up against the Crypt Fiends. This is, well, going into the counter of your opponent. Will this Wind Rider army be able to handle the destroyers in time, or will the Crypt Fiends be able to web them down and just divide and conquer that army? One of the things I don't quite understand about that web is somehow, sometimes the Wind Riders get dropped into place. Other times it feels like the Crypt Fiends do a little bit of a Spider-Man move, web them, and then pull them towards themselves, and will cause a little bit of separation in that army. Alright, Spirit Wolf just still dancing around back once more. Death Knight Lich trying to get to level 3. Does Undead know about the Wyverns? Or the Wind Riders? I gotta say Wind Riders. They're Wind Riders. This is not Reign of Chaos. The stats are different. Does he know about the Wind Riders? I think he saw 2 or 3. He may not have actually seen the massed Wind Rider strategy. That is the key right there. How you react to 2 Wind Riders is very different than how you react to, say, 6 or 7. That seems to be the magic number right now, 6 Wind Riders moving on out. But if you look at the Crypt Fiends, there seems to be almost 1 Crypt Fiend per Wind Rider. Very, very logical as you're trying to get web down and in position. Alright, Unit's going to try and engage across over here. Tauren Chieftain is sitting at level 5. He gets impaled. Is he going to get surrounded? No survivability items. Tauren Chieftain in the back. There's the lightning shield. There's the stomp. And there's a massive stun across multiple units. Chain lightning alongside lightning shield dealing that damage. There goes another stomp right there, trying to finish off more units. And it looks like Crypt Fiend after Crypt Fiend is getting taken down. There goes the web onto the Wind Riders as so much damage is added up. Tauren Chieftain is going to be able to stomp another unit. And it does. The stomp is actually, extremely effective at stopping the Crypt Fiends from dealing all of that necessary damage. Death Coil saves as a chain lightning finishes off one last Lich. Alright, it looked like if there was just a good bounce onto a Crypt Fiend, another Crypt Fiend could have been taken out as well. Level 2 chain lightning finding the hero, but unable to hit that last target. That was a big fight right there. 71 supply compared to 62. Tho still has the overall supply lead, which even though he was the one forced to retreat. Now, the question becomes, will that Tauren Chieftain get to level 5? Once a Tauren Chieftain gets to level 6, once that Tauren Chieftain gets to level 6, all bets are off in terms of who, being able to shut down that Tauren Chieftain. Shutting down a Tauren Chieftain, a level 5 Tauren Chieftain, feels difficult in its own right. Shutting down a level 5 Tauren Chieftain that seems to get back up again after you kill it, level 6 Tauren Chieftain with reincarnation. Well, that is nearly impossible, as you may invest over half of your army to do exactly that, especially as the Tauren Chieftain keeps on stomping and, well, removing many of the other units from that battle. All right. Well, I think at this point, it was very very gutsy maneuver. I think Tho thought he had those Wind Riders completely handled. Little did he realize that Tauren Chieftain was going to handle the Crypt Fiends so well. Alright, Banshees now making their way over. Acolyte getting taken out once more. We are looking at expansions on both corners, but no one has taken them as of yet. Coming back around, main bases have about 2.5 minutes of mining left, and that is about it. We're going to be sitting on one base each. We do not have a lumber mill at all, so no upgrades either for the Orc army. This is still rather strange to say. No upgrades. No upgrades at all for the Orc army. Undead currently sitting on 1-0 upgrades. Looks like it may be going for 2-1 upgrades, and Tho does have a little bit more gold than his opponent. What, 4,700 gold left in this gold mine compared to 9,000. I take it back, a lot more gold, about 45 or 4,300 more gold than his opponent for those upgrades and whatnot. the difference is going to come down to those upgrades and whether or not they will give a major advantage to Tho in this battle. I do believe they will. Each upgrade represents a 10% increase in the overall effectiveness of the army, either in their ability to deal damage or in their ability to take damage. All right, let's make our ways back over here. We're going to look at the units trying to maneuver around. The shamans do have mastery training, so this is endurance aura plus bloodlust. Tauren chieftain, there is a stomp right there. There it goes, and you just stomped pretty much half of the the undead army right there. Tauren chieftain currently just trying to make its way back over. There's another lightning shield. Oh, mid stomp. Death coil finds the lich, and the lich ends up getting that all-important potion of invulnerability in time. Farseer is now back out. Level 3 chain lightning coming back around, bouncing around, still finding targets for days as the lightning shield picks up and drops back down. Tauren chieftain sitting at level 5. Is he going to be able to finish off more units? In comes another stomp, level 6 now on the Tauren chieftain there, and things are going from bad to worse for the undead. 55 supply compared to 71. Tauren chieftain is still alive, gonna go ahead and stomp again, finishing off more units, and that is the game. Fly, without any upgrades whatsoever, maneuvered himself into position. I did not see any weapons upgrades, but who needs weapons upgrades when you have bloodlust? The speed of those attacks were absolutely brilliant, and being able to get into that proper position right there for that, for lining up. As soon as that Farseer got to level 6, we saw level 3 chain lightning bouncing around the entire undead army, and then lining it up so that the Tauren chieftain's lightning shield could continue to finish off units. Once we saw that once we saw that Tauren chieftain get to level 6, it pretty much sealed the deal. It wasn't the fact that the Tauren chieftain got to level 6. It was the fact that the undead lost so many units that the Tauren chieftain got to level 6 that, was pretty much the beginning of the end. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you, watch another video if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Twitch, stick around.